morning and welcome to the Blue Fern Yarn podcast. My name is Shannon and I am the maker and the dyer behind Blue Fern Yarns. Today is Sunday the 8th of August and it's quite a sunny sort of day here in Norwich in Norfolk, where I'm from, where I live with my partner Tom and my cat Bennett. Tom is downstairs, so I don't know how much noise he may or may not make. He may be really quiet for me while I'm recording, I don't know. Today, well, this is episode 21, I think. If it's not, I will put it on the screen. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who does continue to watch me, and obviously hello to all you new subscribers. My numbers have jumped up a little bit, which has been lovely to see. Thank you for joining me. In this podcast you'll kind of see what I've been making, and that's like knitting and crochet, and what else will you find? So it'll be like finished objects, whips, and there'll usually be some yarny chat about my business, and any new colours that I've been dyeing and things like that. So yeah, welcome. So where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blue Fern Yarns. I have my own website, which is bluefernyarns.co.uk, where you can find my hand dyed yarns, higher knitting needles and crochet hooks and other notions. What else have I got on there? Oh yeah, I've got project bags and wool wash and all sorts of other things. Anything to do yarn related, it will probably be on there. Today I do have a bit of what would you call it? Would you call it admin? I think it's kind of admin. So couple of new things. So on I'm going to start back to the beginning. I wanted a way to give back to my customers and those that buy my yarn and use my yarn, and I've been racking my brain for a little while to try and think how I could do this, and there's a couple of ways I'm going to do it, sort of thing. So mostly it's going to be a continuous cowl, and it's more of a mal, it's a make along, any sort of craft where you use 50% or more of my hand dyed yarn in a project or anything like that. There's two threads over on Ravelry. There's one that's like a chatty whips one, and there's one that's the FOs one. I will link all of this below and put it in as much detail as I can, again below. And I'm also doing it for those that don't access Ravelry. I'm also going to do it on Instagram. So there's going to be two hashtags, one which is Blue Fern Yarn Whips, and then another one which is Blue Fern Yarns FOs. And again, they should pop up on the screen, or should have popped up on the screen, but they'll be below as well. And the idea is use 50% or more of my yarns. And in a project, it could be socks, it could be, I'm literally going to list everything knitting because that's what I'm thinking of at the moment. It could be blankets, it could be garments, it could be anything where you use my own hand dyed yarn, 50% or more, and you can enter into either of those sort of threads. So I'm going to be drawing on the on both of those. So the whips will be joined together, so the Instagram whips and the Ravelry whips will be joined together, and I will draw a prize once a quarter on those, and again on the finished objects as well. I'm happy to accept anything that you may have started a year or so ago. I say a year or so because that's how long my business has been going. Even if you haven't finished it, as long as you've got like 25% of it done, and then like the rest of it you still need to work on it, happy for those to go in there as well. Yeah, and then also I'm going to do obviously the finished objects one. I'm probably not articulating this as well as I'm kind of thinking about it, but I will put all the rules, descriptions, information and everything down below, and it's all noted on the Ravelry threads, and I will also do a post on Instagram and tag it in my highlights or something like that to explain sort of what's going on. And it's just a way for me to sort of give back to my customers who do buy my yarn, who use it. Yeah, I just kind of wanted a way to give back, and this is sort of the way I thought. I am aware that Helen from Giddy Yarns also does something sort of similar to this, and I've already reached out to her and asked her if she doesn't mind me doing something similar. She said it's not a problem at all. I've tried to reach out to a couple of people who I knew who do these kind of things, and they've all said, yeah, that's not a problem. So I'm not immediately just copying somebody else. And yeah, so it'd be lovely to see you in, like, come and say hello in the threads on Instagram. Yeah, I'll start using them as well, but anything that I post in them will not go into the draw prizes or anything like that. Prizes will probably be yarny related, whether it'll be project bags, whether it'll be my hand-dyed yarn, whether it'll be yarn that's either gifted or that I've purchased or anything like that. Yeah, and it could be any craft that you can do with yarn. So it could be knitting, crochet, weaving. I think I've seen some people do like the rainbow wraps, which is like macrame. Yeah, anything that you can use my yarns in, please feel free to tag them in there. So I said I was going to draw prizes once a quarter. So the first prize will be drawn at the end, after the end of September. So it'll be like within the first week of October. And all winners will be announced on the podcast, and I will also mention them on Instagram on my stories only. Maybe for the first one I might put it on my grid wall, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so please do feel free to enter. It'd be lovely to see what you're making. It might also give me some ideas for some new projects and things like that, really. Yeah, that's about what I wanted to say on there. I also wanted to mention that I am taking part in the Southern Wool Show on the 4th and 5th of September, and if you are coming along, that would be lovely. Please do just come by and say hello, have a squish of the yarn as always, and yeah, please, that would be lovely. Lovely to meet you. So I'm going to jump straight into my whip. So I've got no finished objects this week because I have been very busy dyeing a lot of yarn for the show. Also advents and planning colourways for my seasonal box. So I have got the autumn seasonal box up if you want one, and I've got a bit more chat about that a little bit later, so we'll go on to that. So first up, I have been working on this one quite a lot since our last podcast. And it's actually crochet. I haven't done any crochet for a long time. I think the last thing I crocheted was this little bunny that's just back here that I keep wanting to gift away, but I love him so much that I just can't. So he's just going to sit up there for a little while. But yeah, it's just this, it's just like a lap gown blanket. It will stretch quite a bit when it's blocked because it's quite a sort of stretchy stitch. I don't know what the stitch actually is called, but it makes this really cool sort of waffle type texture. Yeah, it's just something that I made up years ago, and I've used this pattern a few times on commercial yarn, and all it is you sort of, I chained a number of stitches. I couldn't even tell you how many I chained at the bottom just there. And yeah, I chained until I wanted to stop and then I started going back and forth. So what I do is it's a treble and then a double. That's English terminology. So you do treble, double, treble, double, treble, double all the way across, and then if you end on a double, when you go up to the next row you do double, treble, double, treble, double, treble. So it should then sort of almost sort of do a toothy type effect, which creates this, I'm going to call it a waffle. It's not really a waffle, but I just absolutely love it. And I started off, I'm going to turn it upside down. So I started off with sort of a magic knot ball and was just sort of using up the various scraps that I had that were like 2-3 grams, 5 grams, 10, like in this one I think this might even be 15s that I had left over from something. And it's all hand dyed yarn, all superwash merino nylon 75/25. And yeah, and now I've kind of just gone into my stash and rummaged for anything that's sort of, well, pink basically. It's just going to be a pink blanket, and I have got a lot of yarn. This is in my my own hand printed project bag. This is the wrong way around, but hopefully that will flip by the time I return it, when I edit this. Anyway, but yeah, you can see that there is tons of yarn in there. I don't put the whip in a project bag anymore because I'm literally just working on it constantly. And I've put like a little progress keeper in here, so I'm going to leave that in here. And again, it's a very cute little handmade butterfly one that went out with my spring seasonal boxes. And yeah, so I'm just working away on that. So you can see that I've done quite a bit. I'm just going to do it until I feel like I've finished. It's going to be rectangular, so I do need to square this off and then keep going a little bit further. And then I'll block it, and I don't know, it'll probably just sit in my lounge, or I might gift it to somebody because there's a couple of people I know who are having babies, which is lovely and exciting. And yeah, I just absolutely love that texture. Just really, really nice. I don't know if there is a blanket, if there is an actual pattern written up for that or not. I don't know. I just absolutely just love the texture. I like these corals as well at the moment. But yeah, I'll just work through that. Just show you some of the yarns. So some of these are my own hand dyed yarns. Some of them, so I think that one's Nora George that came out of her advent last year. I've got some Castle View yarns. I must have used the other two out of that because it's usually, yeah, it says set of 5, so I must have used the other 2 for something. Oh, I've got some more minis from Nora George just here. Oh yeah, so this is I did a collaboration with her, with Tracy at Nora George, and it's just a coincidence set. So it's where indie dyers get together and they literally have a colour to work with, whether it's pink, blue, teal, orange, red, yellow, whatever, and they dye up a set of 5 10-gram mini skeins, and she's selling the sets in her shop, and I think some money goes to cyberbullying charities and things like that. So I was sort of up first and we did the pinks. I wonder if I've got any of mine in here. I don't think that was one. I know that was one and that was one. No, I must have. Pretty sure I've already used them. I'm just holding that out there. I don't know whether that then went off the screen. Got some in here from Craft House Magic. I know there's some Craft House Magic sort of in here. Let me see if I can highlight, show you where some of them are. I don't know why I flipped it around because it's the same pattern both sides. So I know this one here is Craft House Magic from her advent. I think this one here where you got the blue, white and pink, I'm pretty sure that came from Bird Street Yarns. This was one of my colours from the Nora George collaboration, and so was this one. So those two were, I don't know, there's probably some in there, I'm not going to lie. But like I said, it was just scraps that I was using up, and now I'm just using up some of my stash because who doesn't love a squish? And it's really squishy. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, enough about the blanket, because I do love a blanket, and I'm sure most of us do. Most of us crafters do, don't we? Yeah, what else have I got to show you? So, I'm not going to show you this project bag because I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But I'm going to show you what I've been working on. So, I fairly recently released a couple of new colours when I was taking part in the Yorkshire Yarn Fest, and one of the, basically there were a bunch of yellows, and you had turmeric, Oh Honey Honey and Be Beautiful, and this is my Oh Honey Honey colourway, and I love it. I love it so much. You've got like these darker browny yellows, and it is, oh, I just love it. Yeah, it's probably one of my favourites that I've ever dyed. What makes me so sad is that I can't really wear it right next to my face. I just feel like it washes me out, which is a shame because I love it. Anyway, so that's my Oh Honey Honey colourway. But obviously I had to cast something on in it, so I did. And I decided it was going to be a pair of socks, and they are a pair of socks for me. So I've got my sock blocker, so I'm just going to put it on the blockers for now, just so you can see it, because it opens up the pattern a bit more and just makes it like even more lovely. So you can see that I've done a little bit of, I've done the heel and I'm doing the foot decreases at the moment, and this is just how it knits up. So I'm just going to move a little bit closer. Just how gorgeous is that? And that's obviously the Sandy Ripple pattern, which is a pattern that I designed. It's available on my Ravelry and my website, so please feel free to go and grab a copy of it, because it is just it's a simple pattern. It's a very easy one, so it is designed for beginners to start looking into pattern socks basically. Yeah, and it's just got like this simple detail, so you've got some ridges and you've got some like little eyelet holes all the way through it, and just, oh, it just looks amazing. I absolutely love it. The only thing I did different is I cast this on and I did a 2x2 twisted rib, whereas the pattern says 1x1. I think I just cast it on and off I went, and then I decided, oh yeah, I'm doing the Sandy Ripple pattern, so I'm doing the wrong cuff. But it's fine, you can always edit your socks the way you want them, can't you? So yeah, just absolutely love this one. See, it's not quite right with my skin, is it? As lovely as it is, it's not quite right. But yeah, I just think that that is beautiful. Oh, I love it. I can't stop looking at it. Anyway, so I'm going to put that down. But yes, that's my Oh Honey Honey colourway. I am doing a mini shop update on Thursday the 12th of August, and basically there's going to be a bit of a restock. So I know Be Beautiful, which is sold out at the moment, is going to be restocked. Oh Honey Honey was sold out, but I found an extra skein and I just put that on the website, but there is also going to be more of a restock on that one, and a few other little bits that will be restocked, but that's fine. Do you know what? I'm going to sort of jump around a little bit. So I am going to show you this project bag. So this is one that is made by my mum. Okay, I'm back. So I've got the medium size bag out. So this is the medium bag that is the size that's currently available on my website. These bags are made by my mum, which is Miss Mandy Lou. And she is on Instagram as Miss Mandy Lou. yeah, so it's a medium size project bag. It's got the usual box bottom, and you've just got drawstrings. They do seem to be quite tough to begin with, but obviously, like any other project bag, they do loosen up when you've been using them for a little while. So yeah, there's only a few on the website at the moment, but we're hoping to bring a few more in soon, so watch this space. So this is the medium size, and my mum has come up with a sock size. So I'm just going to hold this one up and then I'll hold the two together. So this is a sock size bag. In fact, I'll hold them up together now just so you can sort of see the size. So you can see that the sock size is slightly smaller, and it's a lot thinner as well, but it's the same sort of style. And yeah, those that are ordering the autumn seasonal box from me, there is a picture on my Instagram, and I will try and insert it in here so you can see what it looks like. So this is the theme of the colours that I'm doing, and I'm going to work it as a fade. You do have an option to add a Miss Maddie Lou handmade project bag to your order, and this is the size that you will get. So it is perfect for a pair of socks. I'm just going to sort of take the sock off the blockers. Normally I would have the DPN case, but because I'm doing the heel turn, it just doesn't quite fit in the DPN case. But you can see that actually there is plenty of room in there. So it's got the box bottom as usual, and actually I'm gonna just sort of fold that over. You can see that you've got like that much folded over to see that there's plenty of room in there. You could even get in a small shawl is what I think. Definitely the single skein shawl. If not, I think you probably just get away with 2 skeins in there. Yeah, so this is the size bag that you would get from the autumn seasonal box bag, and it will be like a drawstring like this one. They do also have, bear with me, they do also have quite long drawstrings, which I find quite useful. One of the things I want to try and do that I know a lot of people do is they knit and walk at the same time. Which this would just be ideal if you could just do that. I can't. I can't do more than one thing at a time. I just fall over. But yeah, so it is sort of an ideal bag, and this is just a sample one, but she'll have some in fabric that goes with the theme of my autumn seasonal boxes. And hopefully there'll be a lot more of these coming to the shop soon as well. Yeah, that's sort of all I wanted to say about that. What else? I've got 2 more whips that I'm going to show you. So, in fact, 2 more whips, but only one of them is mine. I'm going to show you one that my mum is doing for me. It's out of my own hand-dyed yarn. And it's colour work, which I can't do at the moment. I am going to try and learn, but not yet. I've got too many things on at the moment, so not yet. So it is in this gorgeous bag that I really like, and it's called Antler and Acorn. And you've got like little drawstrings just here, but it's also got some leather handles that you can just sort of carry around like that. It's a gorgeous little bag, I love it. And I just need to make sure that I'm not going to rip it off the needles, because I'm sure my mum will be shouting at the TV saying, "Don't drop it!" Anyway. Oh my god, and I've forgotten the name of the pattern. It's by Andrea Mowry, and I feel like it might be something pink, or pink something. Basically, she's got it in 2 colours of pink, basically, but I am having mine in my wine o'clock colourway and concrete. So this is my wine o'clock colourway on platinum, and I'm not going to pull it too tight because I don't want to lose the stitches. And then the concrete is obviously this grey, which is on Suri alpaca. And yeah, it's just so soft and fluffy, and just look how cool that colour work looks. I just absolutely love that. So yes, Mum's making that. She's doing it as a sample, but I'm going to wear it, because how could you not wear something that gorgeous? Just, yeah. Oh, I love it. And it is so soft and squishy, and because it's alpaca, it'll be so warm. I did think that it would be like really sort of, I'm not holding this very well, like holey or gappy or something like that, because this is the 4-ply yarn and this is lace weight. But actually, you don't really have any gaps in there, or unless I pull it really tight, which we're not going to do. But yeah, it works up so much better than I thought it would. But it's, oh, it's lovely. Lovely. And it's not, Mum said that it was quite an easy pattern, I think she said. Yeah, so, oh, I'll have to get her on the podcast and she can talk about it herself and actually tell you what she thinks of the pattern, how she's getting on with it and things like that, won't I? But yes, I will. I'll get her on the podcast again, shall I? Add a comment below if you'd like to see my mum again. And then I've only got one more whip. Which was only cast on yesterday, and it is so much fun. So what I am making, I'll do the project bag first. So I've got it in this beautiful project bag, which is by So Beautiful by Nicola. And I love this bag. I think my mum actually bought me this bag. I just realised that if my mum is playing a drinking game while she's watching this, she's going to be drunk, because I just keep going, mum, 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 mum. Sorry, mum. Oh, and I did it again, sorry. Anyway, so yes, this is going to be, it's not very far done. This is going to be the Painting Honeycombs shawl by Stephen West. So you can see I haven't done too much, I only cast it on yesterday. And I'm going to confess, my mum did the first honeycomb for me. She popped over yesterday to drop that bag off and to show me what she was making. And we just sat there and we just knitted and we were just talking, and it was so lovely just to sit and chat and knit and do nothing really. So we did that. So she did the first honeycomb, but I have done the second, and I do plan on doing the rest of it. So I haven't done too much, or we haven't done too much, should I say. It is literally just the bottom edge up, and with this pattern, I'm sure I've seen loads of other people say, you actually start with the longer edge, and that is just twisted over in the middle. You start off with the longer edge and you work your way to the smaller edge. Yeah, so it's going to be quite big. It is bunched a little bit because of the length of the needles, but yeah, it should look absolutely lovely. And I haven't got all the colours with me, but I know exactly what colours I'm going to be doing. So my main outside colour, I'm going to be using my newest base that I've only bought to the shop as of the end of July. And it is my Yak base. So this is the natural undyed colour. And it is this gorgeous, I want to say it's grey, but it's got a touch of brown in there as well. So it's like a beigey grey. That doesn't sound very appealing, does it? Hopefully you can sort of see what I mean by it. So this is going to be the main colour, which is obviously the bit that creates the outside for the honeycombs. And then the inside colours are all going to be my hand-dyed yarn on the yak, and I'm going to be having a total of 8 colours only on yak, which will be available to buy as well. Some already are. So this one is the wine o'clock, and that's what I've already started with. Then it is going to go into, hold on, I've managed to get a knot in that. I'll sort that out in a minute. Then it's going to go into magenta. So where's that little ball? So you've got the wine o'clock into magenta, and I'm going to use only 20 grams of this. This was a second skein because there's a big patch that didn't catch it, so I am keeping this one. But this will be the purple that I am going into. I haven't quite got a name for this purple yet. You can sort of see that. And then it's going to continue on to, so I've got ink. I'm going to have I've done Caribbean Seas on yak, and oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I have got a photo of them all together. They're not in the right order, but they're almost in the right order. You can kind of see which way around I'm going. So I'll put that in here. So you've got Caribbean Seas, you're going to have a green colour that hasn't got a name yet. I've already dyed it up on platinum as well, but I haven't got a name for it. Then I am going into Happiness on yak and Maple, and that should be the last one. So it's going to work as a bit of a, almost like a fade, but it's going to be a rainbow on all the insides of the honeycombs, and then the outside will be this colour. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to getting that done. It's also going to be up when I go to the show, depending how much I get done. It's going to be up there so you can see what it looks like. I'll have to give it a bit of a block just before we go because otherwise it will just curl up and look a mess. But yeah, so it will be up there as well. And yes, I will be doing 20 gram mini skeins for it, and also the 100 gram skeins for it. I've got one more thing, which is an acquisition. Some of you may know that I have been ordering the Dotty Wool company, and this is her logo. It's her self-striping Friends series, and this is season 7, so this is the July one, and it is called Infinite Space, and it is just gorgeous. I love those colours together. I have noticed that she normally does 6 colours, but I can only see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's only 4 that I can see on there. I don't know if I hold that up. Can you see more than 4 colours? Not that that's a bad thing. I love a gumball because you can look at it and you go, oh, I wonder what colour order it's going to go into. So obviously you can see that the first colour is going to be this sort of peachy one because that's what's tied round, and I can see that that's the end that you would obviously start with. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Yeah, but you don't know necessarily what colour it's going to work itself into, because of the way they do it. They do the colour, they wrap the colour round and then they turn it, and then wrap the other colour round and turn it. Yeah, so I do kind of like that about self-striping, is you don't necessarily know what colour it's going to work out into, or what order it's going to be. You can see the colours quite clearly, but what order? Anyway, I'm going to stop because apparently I'm just rambling. And that is basically all I've got today. It's a bit of a muddled episode, but hopefully it's made some sort of sense to you. And yeah, I hope you are well. I hope that you have enjoyed today's episode and that you're going to enjoy the day. It looks quite, it's come over a little bit overcast at the moment. So Tom and I are actually going to pop out for lunch if we can, and that's probably about it. I'm probably just going to do some knitting. I'm going to have the evening off from dyeing yarn because I feel like I'm getting a lot done at the moment. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye.